lucky for me, trapping or hunting up here in North Queensland is not just work. Okay, it can be work, but it really is one of the greatest work sites in the world. Love it. It might be barren sometimes to some people. It might be harsh country. It might be a lot of things. But to me, it's still home. It's there's always something new every day to look at. There's always something to get your interest. It's freedom, and that's what we've got to cherish. Is the freedom to go out and be the way that we're intended to be. So let's head north. Righto, we've arrived at the property, and I'm just getting the gear out of the trailer and getting ready. We'll get out and get some traps in this afternoon. Dogs, you ready for some big pigs and some dingoes, eh? You ready? Yeah, let's go. Okay, so this will be the home for a couple of the dogs. For the fuel in the shade, we've got the trailer in the shade there, and I'll be taking 2 dogs at a time. The other 2 can be in here in the shade, and yeah, we'll get out there into them hills. There's been some dogs howling out here the last few nights, so we'll start over here at this dam on this other side. Righto, let's go. Take the 22 and the 223. Well, looks like we've got a full house. Waylon, up. You can come too, Waylon. Come on, we'll all go for a ride. Quick, Waylon, up. Waylon, up. Waylon, quick, Waylon, up. We'll all go for a ride. Yep. The first afternoon of the program, so they all want to go for a run, so we might as well give them a try. And yeah, hot enough already. The sweat's dripping off me straight away. The humidity is still quite high, even though it's clear, very clear. Look at this. Righto. So we're going to have some fun, are we? Hey, you reckon? I wouldn't be surprised at all if we came across a couple of big boars this run. There's plenty of grass, plenty of cover, so they're probably staying out in the gullies a lot more than when it's more open. I think when it's more open, they tend to go right back into the mangroves here. So we're trapping where we were a few months ago. I think if you guys would remember where we were catching here, and they'd just done a big 1080 baiting program and we didn't do that well. Well, here's our chance to come back and even the scores. I think we'll do a lot better this trip. Okay, we're just driving down now to the first dam, and this is a place where I'd expect there to be some wild dogs coming into, but I'd also expect there to be some wild pigs here. Probably better off going in there and making sure I don't have any pigs right close in. Put the dogs up in this thick timber country up the top, and the wind's right, get them running in there. If we can get a pig for a drag, that'll be great. Otherwise we'll just spook off the rest of them, and then we'll get some dog traps in that patch of timber over on the top end of the dam. What do you reckon, dogs? Hot? Hot, Plenty of mud on the sides of those trees there to show that there's been pigs here. She's thick. Honey bun! All coming back. No scent. Up. Quick, skunk. Up. Nothing. Waylon, come. Good boy. Nothing. Well, there doesn't seem to be any really fresh pig sign there, which is good. That'll give us a little bit of a break. Yeah, the dog's coming through here. You'd expect it to come around this end. If it's coming through fast, it'll probably come through around the top end of this dam. Could check around the shoreline there, the edge, which is a good place to find a frog or lizard or a chick, or, you know, a little duckling or something like that. But I think I might trap at both these both these trees here, one on the fence line and one here beside the vehicle. Yeah, and use a couple of long distance calls, long distance lures, and just aim at getting a dog that comes around the top end of the dam travelling on this road. The grass is so long here now that it's more likely that the dogs, if they're going through quickly, they'll go through on the track rather than through the long grass. We'll work on that for a start. Now, a lot of people bug me about not using gloves, and I have used gloves years ago, and I suppose I set out to dispel a few of the myths that I think that are involved with trapping, and a lot of it is to do with your scent. People say, oh, you're handling your traps with your hands and you're putting scent on that steel, and yeah, that's fine. That can be true. But while I'm here like this, there's scent falling off me now. And anybody that doesn't believe that, you've only got to watch an animal, especially like a dingo, come downwind of you and hit your scent that's blowing off me. I could be here like this, not doing anything, and the wind just blowing off you, and that animal hits your scent, and it's like they hit up against a brick wall. They're gone. Your scent is wafting off you, and it will stay there. I've seen animals that have come along 24 hours later and hit the scent where you've walked through a paddock and shy off it. So your scent does stay there. There's not much we can do about that unless you want to wrap yourself in bubble wrap or live inside a cocoon. So you're going to drop scent where you go. These animals will know we're here. I don't have very much problem at all with animals actually digging my traps out because they know the trap is there, because they can smell it. I have trouble with dogs that have seen those traps come out of the ground and catch their mate when it's right there beside them. And some of these dogs might have seen 3 or 4 or more of their pack members caught with a trap straight out of the ground like that. So they are, we call it hawky. They are looking around. They are what's here. They can smell you in the vicinity, and straight away they link that smell with there's going to be danger here, there's a trap, there's something going to come out of the ground here. And that's when they start scratching. And oftentimes you can see they scratch 6 feet away from your trap. So they're not smelling your trap, they're actually looking for where it is. They can smell the turned over dirt. So when I'm handling the traps, I like to handle my dogs, handle the everyday things that I'm using to trap with, but try and stay away from oils and detergents and deodorants and all that sort of stuff on your hands that will cause that that real long-term sort of different smell that the dog won't be used to. So here as well, in this sort of conditions, we're dripping sweat all the time. It's very hard not to just drip sweat in this country. So what I try and do is I'll get handfuls of dirt and I'll rub it in my hands. Now, dirt is beautiful stuff. You could eat this stuff, right? I'm not talking about filth. I'm not talking about going there to a rotten carcass and getting some rotten carcass on your hands or whatever. This is soil. This is the essence of life. Get some soil, rub it into your hands. Earth your hands out. Earth your body out in the soil. For me, it works, and the results, well, you're seeing the results on these clips. Righto, that's the first one. Standard set, based around the, looped around that base of that little tree. Sets in there just over the stepping stick on this side. A little bit of stick in that to direct them down on that side so they don't walk too high. A bit of bitch's urine from Dash when she's just coming into season. Righto, well that's 3 traps in that first spot. Pretty much covers that dam if they come in on either side. Let's say they've heard dogs howling in 2 different areas, but it could be the same pack travelling right through. So my guess is that we've got 6 to 10 dogs to work on. Let's hope we've got a few more to make it really worthwhile. Chansey, Chansey. Wait a minute. Watch him, Chansey. Watch him. Chansey. You can see our dilemma. We put a trap anywhere here and it's just going to get smashed by these fellas. They're just too quiet. Well, a bit of a hard position here because the cattle are just all over this spot, but they've heard dogs howling here the last couple of nights. So just trying to be creative. I'm going to put a food-based lure right in the side of that big bush, right in the middle of it. And what I'll do is I'll get my little secateurs, my cutters, and I'll cut a couple of tunnels in the bush, somewhere where it makes it easy for a dog to sort of go in there to try and get at this lure. And I'll put 2 traps in here and just try and chain them into the base of this rubber vine. And that's the best we can do. We'll just try and get a dog to go in under that bush. On previous clips you will have seen me catch a dog there, a couple of dogs actually off a skull, and it works very well. Bone piles, something like that they're used to. Here we've got cattle kicking around this pile of bones, so it might not work. I'm going to try and push the cattle well away from there now, but we'll just see. Now I've got nothing to tie down onto, and I've sort of gone away from driving pegs in, hammering pegs in, simply because of the noise. In a lot of areas, I'm finding I'm catching dogs very quickly because I'm not making much noise as I set a trap. So here what I'm doing is I'm just going to peg it in with a couple of 300 big tech bolts using the drill. Now, some people have been using this this method for a few years. I've been trialing it out for quite a while now, and I haven't lost any dogs with it. They haven't pulled any traps, so I sort of would give it my tick of approval, using 2 screws on an angle each, same as we'd peg out a trap years ago, but this way it's a lot quicker. Righto, that's what I call a simple step through. Pile of bones, something that they've probably checked 1,000 times. These dogs, they'll always come past and check a bone pile. And if they get a whiff of a little bit of rancid fat there, they might say, look, there's something we've overlooked. They'll come in for another check. And it's just a simple step through between the 2 bones, little stepping stick there. It's very simple. But we've just screwed it straight down in the spot. What I have to do now is just try and chase these cattle away. So we're getting out by the swamps. Feeling that this will be where there'll be dogs crossing over. Really good spot here, I'd say. Let's have a look, Brandon. You just sit there, man. Sit, sit, sit. Yep. Puppies, look at them dogs. Deer. Good sign, right on. There's also a heck of a lot of pigs coming through here. That's nearly all pigs. Big mob of pigs. Righto, we'll call this the salt pan set. I've just got one off the side of that post there, and I'll just put a little bit more of that pigweed on the side there. Little step through, a little bit more debris over that side. I've just got a little bit of bitches urine on there, something up high. I'm wanting a dog to come around there and put their nose up to try and sniff that and go through the easy route through the middle. See where the pigs have been going across there. Going from the fresh water back out to the mangroves. There's been an army of pigs go across there, look at that.
Stand on the road and look aloof. Get the feeling that you're bulletproof. Dumb ways to die. So many dumb ways to die.
Well, it doesn't often happen like that. We just drove through checking this line, looking for a place to put a trap. And I thought, well, I'll come back here and I'll put a trap on this little gully. I thought that's a great little crossover place.
Brandon, no.
Anyway, turn around, come around here, and here's this little one, younger dog by the look of it, and stand on the road. Yeah, not an old dog, young dog. That's a good start to the program. So on our first day, and we've got our first dog. Well, I think we'll put a trap here anyway, because I still think it's a really good pass-through point. Prove that, and this guy's probably got some friends and they'll come along here. So